guys, Arolf here, back again with another video. Finally doing another video on the Hot Toys Avengers Infinity War Iron Man Mark 50. This is diecast piece 23 and movie masterpiece 473. So let's get into it. So taking a look around the packaging, on the front you get a nice picture of Iron Man here. On the side it says Iron Man Mark L 1/6 scale collectible figure MMS 473 D23 with the Avengers A logo in gold foil. On the back you get some warning labels and the UPC. Same thing on the other side, says Iron Man Mark L. Removing the slipcover reveals a sketch of Iron Man in black and white. On the side you get a nice picture of the helmet, people responsible for the figure, nothing on the other side. On the top you get Iron Man Mark L, and on the bottom Avengers Infinity War logo. And without further ado, let's get into it. Doing some size comparisons, here's Iron Man next to a couple of Avengers from the Infinity War line, also the tech suit from Homecoming, as well as the Hot Toys 1/6 scale Thanos from Infinity War, and a couple of more Iron Man figures, including the armored Thanos Marvel Legends figure. For Iron Man's accessories here, he comes with a total of 3 pairs of hands, so 1 pair of articulated hands. Just looking at it, pretty nice detail, not as good as the repulsor hands, but just looking at it, he has 3 points of articulation and a single point at the thumb here, so you can get some snapping poses if you want to. And this is what it looks like on the figure, which looks fine, and you can see the little hand guard here is made out of plastic. Same thing with the repulsor blast hands. You can see they are much thicker fingers and they're made out of a rubbery plastic. I don't know how these will do in the sunlight and long term. Hopefully they don't fade away in color. And just comparing it to the articulated hands, you can see much thicker fingers, and this is what it looks like on the figure. Same thing with the pair of fists. This is what it looks like on the figure. Now taking a look at his nano weapons here, starting off with the nano blaster that he used on Drax. It was meant for the left arm in the movie, but here it attaches to the right arm. You can see some nice translucent pieces right there, kind of nice blue translucent. Pretty lightweight weapon, and it's made out of plastic, of course. And looking at the nano blaster here, which I do not know when he used during the movie, probably during the Cull Obsidian fight. I'm not sure. There's so many things going on in that fight, and you can see it's also made out of lightweight plastic for long periods of time and posing. So yeah, that's pretty cool, nicely detailed. With these weapons includes a lot of posing ideas. So this is what the nano blaster looks like on the figure, as well as the nano cannon on the figure. And if you want, you can have him dual wield it and get some cool posing ideas like this or like this. Including with the nano weapons are the nano flight stabilizers that we saw on the Battle of Titan. Really nice additional piece that they included and updated, so thank God Hot Toys updated this. You can see there are some sharp points and some fragile pieces. This is made out of a plastic, so be careful with that. And just pointing out the additional pieces that move out, there's one up here, one on the side right here, two up here, so one right there, and the second one right there, and then another two at the bottom, one right there, and then another one right there. So he has a total of 6 articulating pieces on this flight stabilizer. Now just attaching this guy to the Mark 50, you want to remove the back piece here with the included tool, the plastic tool that they give you, which I'll show later on with the other tools and batteries. And you just attach it on like so, snug fit. And so this is what it looks like on the figure. Pretty badass. You could just have this with the flight stabilizers, nothing else, and it'll still look badass. You can see the flaps here that are deployed, or the little pieces here that fold out, or his stabilizers, extra stabilizers, I guess. You can see very, very thin plastic, and they say in the instructions it is very pointy, so be careful on that. And you can see some of the details on the inside here. You can see, getting a little better look at it, very nice detail. Next up, you get the Robert Downey Jr. head sculpt, which is repainted from the previous version, which is the Hot Toys Civil War Iron Man Mark 46. So they just added some light gold highlights here in the hair here. He also includes a little collar piece right there to fill in the gaps when you remove the Iron Man helmet, and just demonstrating how that attaches on. So you would remove the head, attach this collar piece on, and then pop on the head. So this is what the head looks like on the figure, and it looks like it is floating like in the movie, which is very accurate and very nice. Now, since everyone has seen this head sculpt and is familiar with it, I won't be doing a close look at it. It's pretty much the same great sculpt and texturing detail. You can see that gap that I mentioned before. It looks like his head is floating. That continues all the way around through the head. Would have been nice if it's a flush looking piece, but it looks like it's just floating there with a gap basically. What I'll be showing you guys is the articulation on the head. So looking at the head articulation here, you can see it can move downward that far, which is not that great, but you can get a little wobble right there. Back that much, which is okay, I guess. It's because of the way the head sculpt is designed, and he also has some side-to-side movement. His head could look sideways right there. Same thing on the other side. You cannot rotate all the way around because it's hindered by the chin, but that is okay. You still get decent articulation from this head sculpt. And last but not least, for his accessories, you get the instruction manual, the dynamic stand, and this little toolkit, which includes a flat head, and you get a tweezers that are plastic, and a mini Phillips screwdriver that is branded Hot Toys. So there you go, there's your accessories. Now turning off the lights and showing you all the LED lights that are on this figure. You can see I have the nano blaster attached on. You can see how bright that is, shining the lights against my backdrop here. Looks really cool. What can I say? This is pretty standard for Hot Toy Iron Man figures, but with all these LED lights in the dark, it just looks amazing. Even when the lights are turned on, you can see they are pretty decently bright. And you can see that cannon right there is still pretty bright as well. I wish it was a little brighter on the sides here, but that is okay. Now if you want, you can remove the cannon here and attach the arm. What's intuitive here, there are some metal pins on the little post right there, or the peg. So when you attach the arm automatically lights up without having an extra LED component or on switch on the arm, which is pretty intuitive with Hot Toys. And just showing you some extra details here, removing the chest plate, which is pretty much standard for every Hot Toy Iron Man figure, mostly every Hot Toy Iron Man figure. Really like the silver that they use, kind of a metallic-y silver. And just showing you some of the details right there. The base layer has this honeycomb little texture right there, which is supposedly is his nanotech, I guess. It's pretty much the same with the Mark 85, pretty much the same design. Hopefully it changes. If not, that is okay. It is still a pretty design. And looking at the back here, you can see his little air brakes right there with some nice silver mechanical details on the inside as well, which is a nice touch and pretty much standard for any Iron Man figure. So taking a closer look at Iron Man here, starting off with the head sculpt, you can see me waving in the background because this figure is so shiny. Even the gold parts where it has kind of a matte finish to it, it is pretty shiny. And once you get to the candy red paint job, it just reflects everything that it's around. So yeah, you can see some of my lightings there, even my background lighting is just crazy. But the sculpting detail on the head is great. A little gappage here right there to allow some head articulation and some flight poses, which I'll show later on in the video. But nonetheless, it is a nice head sculpt, and it is so shiny that they had to add some minor imperfections throughout the whole suit here. So just looking at it from afar, it looks amazing. Now moving over to the chest here, like I said before, there are some scuffings here, so if you believe that this is a factory defect here, there are some scuffings, and it's pretty much the same through every copy. You can see moving the arm up reveals more details, which is pretty standard for an Iron Man figure. They even have it for the plastic Mark IV back in like 2010, so what I noticed is that they upgraded the detail, added more details here and there, and made the articulation and the movement of the armor pieces more intuitive, so that's pretty great. And moving that down, you can see I currently have the arms popped out, so I could show you more detail. You can see this little piece right here can articulate as well. It can move up like that, and it can also tuck in like so if you want it flush with the armor like that. See some nice details here on the legs, more scuffings on the corners right there. See some nice blue translucent plastic on the arc or the mini arc reactors right there. See, looking at the legs here, pretty nice. More scuffing details inside the leg. Right there, really like the little gunmetal silver that they use on the legs as well. Pretty clean. These do seem to be die cast right there on the knees right here. It's kind of hard to figure out which is die cast and which is plastic. I can confirm that the shoulder pads are die cast as well as the knees, but I don't know if there's any in the arms. It doesn't seem like it. See some nice detail right there. There are some scuffing details or scuffing imperfections from the factory when I received my copy, but that is okay. See, looking at the feet here, really nice ingenuity right there. Has some spring-loaded mechanics here on the feet here. Same thing with the shoulder pads. You can see you get some little ankle rocker right there and some toe articulation. See that nice variation between that gunmetal gray on the heel and the back of the leg right there, and kind of a darker gray compared to the lighter gray. And you can see silver repulsor flight stabilizer boots. So yeah, that's pretty much it. For Iron Man's articulation here, starting off with the head, it's on a ball hinge, so it does rotate all the way around. It can bend up that far, including with the little ball joint at the base of the neck right there, so you can do some flying poses if you want. You can move the neck piece down and his head down, so that's how far his head would look down, which is quite unfortunate, but that is okay. You also get some tilty shifty head movement like so. Now the base of the neck has a ball joint, so it does rotate all the way around, and you could also rotate it side to side just a little bit. Be careful because it could scuff up the paint on the inside. Now the arms here, they do push out and push in. His arms don't bend inward that much unless you pull the arms out, so you get some nice motion right there once you pull the arms out. Get some forward and back, up and down, and since it's on a ball joint, you get a 360-degree rotation, which is nice. Now the shoulder pads here are on springs, so they move up and down and in and out like so. And his arms here bend outward that far, about 90 degrees like so. You can get a little more range right there, but I do not want to scuff the plastic right there, or the die cast piece. And you can see he has some bicep swivels right there, which is great. Like so, rotate side to side. You can rotate it more than that, you just got to lift up the shoulder pad piece right there. Moving the camera down a little bit, he has double jointed elbows right there, which is nice, and you can see that little flap there moves up as well, which is intuitive of the armor design. And you can see right there, it can move up like that. Now the hands here are on ball joints, so they do rotate all the way around. They can bend up and down that far and side to side like so. With the fist here, same thing, you can rotate it all the way around. And you can get a little wobble right there, forward and back, side to side. It's just hindered by the little arm or the hand guard right there. Now moving over to the torso here, without it extended, you can rotate it side to side like so. It's on a ball joint right there, and you can get some forward and back movement right there. Be careful with this little piece right there on the back. You might scuff up the plastic, so be cautious on that, and it's pretty sharp as well. Now pulling it up and extending it forward, you can have more range right there, so he can bend forward that far, and he can bend back that much. You can see right there. Be careful not to scratch it. You can see pretty decent range right there. It's not the best, and it's also not the greatest. It's just decent enough. And you can see right there, you get some wobble right there on near the waist here, so that little bottom part right there closest to the little hips can rotate as well. It's on a ball joint. Now be cautious on the legs here, so you can move these pieces up and out of the way like so. So be sure not to snap them because they are pretty fragile. Now the legs here can move forward like so without it extending and back that much. Now if you pull the leg down like so, it will click down twice. You can get more range. In the instructions it shows you can get a 90-degree kick right there, about 90 degrees right there. I don't want to push it even further because you can push it further. It's just I'm pretty cautious on scuffing up this paint job right there. And moving the flaps down right there on the sides right here like that, they just snap into place like so, and popping the leg back up like so. And you can see how flush it is right there on the sides. He also has a upper thigh swivel right there, kind of a ugly thigh gap right there, or not a thigh gap, a leg gap. He has double jointed knees, which are on kind of these very satisfying metal clicky ratchety joints right there. The feet here are on ball joints, so they can bend down pretty far, which is great. You can see it kind of exposes the hinges right there on the feet, and you can see it can bend up that far like so, which is also great. He also has the ankle rocker, which would have been nice if he got more range because this is quite disappointing like so. And he also has some toe articulations which can move up and down like so. And for the ankle pivot, or the legs bending out, doing the ankle pivot test, he is good to go. So yeah, that is it guys. Hope you guys like it. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe, hit the bell, turn on notifications because there are more videos coming. Sorry for being inactive for a while now, 2 months, but I have seen that there are some new releases like the Avengers Endgame Wave 2, Build-A-Figure Hulk, also the Spider-Man Far From Home figures, so hopefully I can get my hands on those movie figs and get the reviews out ASAP. Coming back strong with this one. I've been waiting for this figure for a long time and I finally got it. Now my thoughts are, overall I really do like this figure. Minor gripes here and there. Some of the gripes that I have are the gaps on the legs right there. It seems a little too bulky. I wish it was a little bit more slimmer, but that is okay. That's just my minor gripe. Also, what's kind of annoying is when you're articulating the legs and rotating these flat pieces out, they do not look flush with the figure and just sticks out and it looks terrible. I wish they had a better way of doing that. But overall, this is a great set, a pretty decent amount of accessories. If you can find them right now for a cheap price, go on Sideshow, just pre-order and wait. It's okay that they reuse the head sculpt, at least for endgame we'll be getting a new head sculpt, but this will do for now since this is my first diecast Iron Man figure. So yeah, that is it guys, hope you guys like it. Arolf Morales, this is signing out, peace.